Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Akal Kodesh. I want to give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone who taught me His truth. And a sincere shalom to the elect out there, teaching His truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Alright, and the brother Yasharon, and this is a video on these politically correct Israelites. There's one thing you cannot do with the recent example of Kazariak in mind is you can't look at the ways of life today, okay, and compare them with how things were in ancient times, okay. In fact, let me start with this scripture, because we are supposed to what? Remember the old paths, okay? I believe it's Jeremiah the 6th chapter. 6 and 14 or 6 and 16. Alright. Now, the scriptures say in the book of Sirach that what? We're supposed to what? Try and acquire the wisdom of the ancient. Okay, we're supposed to get out of this modern mindset. And a lot of the problems with a lot of these politically correct Israelites and why the Most High won't open up their understanding is because really truly they're offended and ashamed of certain parts of the gospel and of the scriptures. Okay? Like some guys, they might think that Great Millstone is teaching the truth and all that. And then they'll hear us get on the women a little bit too much. And they'll get offended. Kazariak was one of those men. Okay? These other camps, man, they won't say anything bad about the sisters. This is Jeremiah 6 and 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Okay? Now, does that mean that, you need to follow the law and entirely, like if your children are disobeying, does that mean to bring them out into the center of the city and stone them like it's written in the law? No, it doesn't mean that. We just have to have the mindset of somebody with an ancient mind, okay? Ancient mindset, okay? And the laws of the scriptures are the easiest way to do that, man, by reading the laws of the scriptures. Okay? Because there's some nasty stuff in the law, man. Or that what would today be considered absolutely crazy. And if you don't arm yourself with a ancient mindset, okay, you'll get offended by some of those things that are written, man. You'll be ashamed of the gospel, and you'll start tap dancing like tap dancing Kazariak. Well, tap dancing Kazariak would have a heart attack over some of the things written in the scriptures, man, if they were applied today. Okay, but a reason why a lot of this wickedness is out of control is because the law is not being enforced. The law of the scriptures is not being enforced. Okay? Jeremiah 6 and 16, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein? Okay, it doesn't say straddle the fence. It doesn't say walk most of the way in and then take a left or right turn here or there with something you don't agree with. No, it says, where is the good way, and walk therein? And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Okay? Also I set watchmen, I'm going to continue on. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. And that's a lot of you false prophets, man. They get checked on a lot of these politically sensitive issues, man. regarding women and children and all that. You know, y'all get sensitive and you get offended. Hawashai said, "Blessed is he who is not offended in me." All right, and the scriptures have a dark, nasty side to them, man. All right, just like it says in Ezekiel, I believe it's at the end of the 2nd chapter. Yeah, it is at the end of the 2nd chapter. Ezekiel 2:9. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. Okay? That's the scriptures. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein, inside the scriptures, right? Lamentations and mourning and woe. So if you guys can't handle reading about these stories, how are you gonna be able to handle when these judgments start going forth? Okay, the Lord said, "Who He will, He hardeneth." All right, you have to have a hardened mind in this truth, man. All that sensitivity will just cloud your judgment, and then the Most High will put the Spirit on somebody like Sonetter, who's a novice and a half, okay, to completely expose you, man, on his show. See how the Most High works, man? He's the ultimate chess master. Okay? And the fact that you keep tap dancing around certain issues just shows that you're offended. The scriptures say, "Woe unto him by whom the offense cometh." Okay? Now I'm going to get a couple precepts on some things in the Bible, man, that people might not agree with. You know, these are just off the top of my head. I did a little word search earlier. Judges 4:21. This story always stood out to me, you know. When I first read it, I was like, wow, that's nuts. Judges 4:21. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples. And that shows the wickedness of the woman, man. You know, the scriptures talk about that. There is but little to the wickedness of a woman, man. When you and like the scriptures say, when you give your strength to a woman, man, things like that are going to happen. Okay, Mr. Politically Correct. And went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples. She hammered a nail into his fucking head, man. That sounds like some shit that they'll put in some kind of movie. You know? And fasten it into the ground, for he was asleep and weary, so he died. Alright? I don't want to get I'm just going to keep bouncing around with examples. I already mentioned the example if your child acts up and they're disobedient and they bring shame to you. You know, you take them outside and you stone them to death. Well, it says in the law, I think it's here. Right, about a priest's daughter, man. If a priest's daughter acts like a harlot, now think about all these young girls out here. Okay? If the law was in effect today, they'd all be getting, a lot of them would be getting burned to death, man. Or put to death. Okay, because the burning to death is kept for a daughter of a priest. Leviticus 22:12. If the priest's daughter also be married, oh, slack it. Where was it? Come on, man. Come on, man. See, this keeps messing up. This is ridiculous, man. I can't even use this phone. Slack it, brothers. Alright, Leviticus 21:9. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. Okay? Now imagine that happening in today's society, man. That's why the scriptures say that you gotta have the wisdom of the ancient, man, to understand that, you know, it might be harsh, but that's supposed to be what's done. Okay? Now, are we to carry these out? Some of these laws out? No, we're not. You know? But that's, according to the law, what's supposed to happen, man. Okay, and then you also have the scripture about the man of God who got torn open, right? And you had the situation with King Saul, how the Lord just ended his bloodline entirely, even though Jonathan was very brotherly with King David. Okay, there's a lot of nasty things that go on in the scriptures, man. Look at the case of adultery. There's a whole couple chapters actually dealing with what? Sexual immorality, man. Okay? And those laws don't get enforced anymore. And look at the product today. You have all kinds of adultery going everywhere. You know? All kinds of adultery going on, man. Bestiality. All kinds of nasty things, man. I'm trying to remember what this one scripture was. Oh yeah, when you go to war with the nation. Man, this is getting me very mad. Can't even use this fucking